You ever notice how everything today is built around convenience? We order food, we order groceries, we order clothes. Heck, we even order cars online without ever leaving that couch. And yet, somehow, even with all of this convenience, most of us feel drained, broke, and discouraged than ever before. Say you order some McDonald's from DoorDash. That Big Mac meal that would have cost you $10 if you just got up and went there and got it in person. But by the time you hit that confirm order, it's $20. Yep, delivery fee, service fee, boom, another $10 meal, just double because you didn't feel like driving 5 to 10 minutes down the street to go get that Big Mac meal. Now, I'm not trying to judge anybody. Because trust me, I have been there too. You're tired. You've been working all day. You just want to chill and eat some food. But here's the truth. That $10 to $20 decision doesn't feel like much at that particular moment, but it's a pattern. Convenience costs you more than money. It costs you discipline. It costs you patience. And sometimes it'll actually cost you an opportunity. Here's what's really happening beneath the surface. We've trained our brains to crave comfort and not results. We tell ourselves, heck, it's only a few extra dollars. But that same mindset is why subscriptions pile up. Debt climb and time just slips away from us. We outsource everything: cooking, cleaning, thinking. All right. Yeah, we outsource thinking as well. And before you know it, we've outsourced the thing that makes everything matter. And that's effort. Convenience is addictive because it tricks you in believing you're actually saving some time when you're really just spending more money to avoid discomfort. Can I break this down a little bit? I'm gonna get a little nerdy on you. The brain loves easy. It gets a quick dopamine hit when you skip a line, press a button, or even avoid a task. But that same dopamine is the same chemical reaction you get when you're making progress, when you're learning a new skill, finishing a project, or even cooking a meal from scratch. But here's the problem. Easy dopamine doesn't last. Now, it gives you the illusion that, hey, this is great. Your body feels like, hey, I just did something. But you know what? It's not satisfying enough to keep that dopamine level up. So every time you choose convenience over effort, you're not just paying more money, you're training your brain to avoid work. And when you avoid work long enough, you stop growing. Let's do some quick math. If you order food 3 times a week, and each order costs $10 more than it would if you just would have got up and picked it up, that's $30 a week. That's $120 a month. That's $1,440 because you chose not to get up, to get in the car, to drive 5 minutes to go get the food. Hey, that's a new laptop. That could be a vacation. That's a business investment. But here's the bigger picture. That $1,400 just doesn't cost you money. It costs you the habit of taking action. It reinforces procrastination. It made waiting and wanting the new norm. Remember, when cooking dinner used to be the norm, when washing your own car on Saturday morning felt like you just accomplished something, somewhere along the line, society has told us you don't have time for that. Pay someone else to do it. I'm not saying we shouldn't use technology, take some shortcuts strategically. I'm not saying that not to pay anyone to do something, but there's something wrong with leveraging tools to buy back your time if that time isn't used wisely. But when you're using convenience to avoid effort, that's when it becomes a trap. It's like we built a lifestyle around avoiding inconvenience. But sometimes that is where the lesson is. That is where growth is. That's where we find our grit again. Convenience gives control. Convenience gives comfort, but control gives you freedom. When you cook your own food, you control what actually goes in it. When you drive yourself somewhere, you control when you leave and when you're going to go. When you handle your finances, you control where your money goes. Every time we hand off responsibility in the name of convenience, we lose just a little bit more of that control. And over time, those small moments of I just paid for it adds up to a life that's running you instead of you running it. Now, let's talk about how we fix it. It's not about cutting out conveniences. It's about making a conscious decision. Here's a simple rules that I like to live by. If convenience saves me time to do something meaningful, I use it. But if convenience costs me discipline, I do it myself. Maybe that means meal prepping instead of ordering out. Maybe that means washing my own car while listening to a podcast. Maybe that means me driving to the store instead of paying $8 in delivery fees for a gallon of milk. Because those little actions, they rebuild self-trust in yourself. You start proving to yourself again that you can do hard things. And that mindset right there, that's priceless. We are living in a world that sells convenience like it's the ultimate prize. But the real success, the real peace, and the real power still comes from doing what? Hard work that builds character and builds a winner. Next time you think about paying for convenience, ask yourself, is this helping me win or is this helping me avoid? Because that right there, that's the conversation.